Hi everybody, it's Greek Gamer here, coming at you with another video. Today I'll be doing a complete review of the 4th DLC pack, Reckoning. Now here on the first map is Fracture. Fracture is an Antarctic excavation site cradled on the shelf of a glacier. Floodlights, wind turbines, and solar panels separate large combat areas to offer several options for mid to long range engagements. Now, as you can see from the footage I am showing you right now, Fracture is very dependent on long straight lanes as well as a few short range areas. When we saw the trailer and we saw somebody using a blunderbuss, I do not recommend doing that on this map just because there's a lot of long lane action. I'm going to be talking assault rifles, LMGs, and sniper rifles. If you happen to be able to rush with an SMG, such as an ASM-1 or an SN6, then yeah, you should have a chance, but I'm just saying, for the most part, I would recommend sticking to assault rifles and sniper rifles. Now, a quick thing I would like to add about this map before we move on to the next map is that the map dynamic effect is this lane that I'm on right here, this very long, straight, narrow lane. It collapses halfway through the match because the glacier starts to break apart. The compound starts falling apart. And just remember that halfway through the match. Do not be on this lane halfway through the match because it will collapse and you will die. I recommend being extremely careful with it as well as not messing around on that lane at approximately 6 minutes into the match. If you do that, you're probably going to end up dying. Just don't take any big risks on this map. It's a very careful, very long range dependent map. See you guys in the next map. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so the next map to talk about is Quarantine. The gameplay you're seeing is on Quarantine, me showing you around the map as always. Now, this map is located on Liberty Island and during the middle of an urban outbreak. The premises of the Primal Animal Testing Facility offers the perfect blend of gameplay for all types of weapons and player styles. Now, judging from the ability to run around the map before playing it online in private match, I can tell you guys right now that this is completely true. You can use just about every weapon in the game on this map and probably do well. There is no... there's few long-range sites. There's a lot of close range, especially on this map. This map is pretty close range. SMGs, shotguns preferred. If you want to use an assault rifle or a sniper or an LMG, you better be able to react quickly because there's a lot of tight corridors, a lot of tight spaces, a lot of buildings to go into. There's not a lot of buildings to go on top of. Now, like I said, this thing is nestled underneath the Statue of Liberty. And just to note, the map dynamic for this map is, as you'll see later, there's going to be something called the pit. It is a primal testing facility for animals. So, as you go into the pit, what pretty much happens, to be completely frank with you guys, is the middle of the pit caves into a hole, almost like a trash pit. Now, we don't know at the moment what this was used for in the map, but nobody really cares. Here we go. Here's the pit. As you can see, the lining is where it breaks in, and if you fall down there, you will commit suicide. It is like falling off the map. So I recommend being extremely careful, as you can get on that little metal area in the middle. It could be a pretty good place to hold off. I'm almost 100% sure this is going to be a hard point if we end up playing hard point on this map. But yeah, let's get into the next map. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so the third map for the DLC that I'm going to be covering today is Overload. Now, Overload is a very unique map. I think that it looks excellent. I cannot wait to play this map in multiplayer. Just some personal opinions on it before we get into it. Now, Overload is a lavish ceremony with a grand view of downtown New Baghdad. Long perimeter sightlines and decorative plasma lamps contribute to a tactical and electrifying atmosphere. Now, the reason why it's considered an electrifying atmosphere, as they say, is because there are map kill streaks on most of these maps, and this map happens to be plasma lamps. Now, if you get this kill streak, these plasma lamps will activate around the map. They're already on the map, they're already out, but they have to be activated. I just passed one there on the left. Now, these plasma lamps, if shot while the kill streak is running, will blow up, and it is an extremely big explosion. And the only thing I can compare it to is if you're near it, you get shocked like you were getting shot with a Wunderwaffe. Now, I recommend staying away from those if you see them turn purple, because that means they've been activated by a player on the map. One of the nice things I like about this map is that it suits a lot of different play styles, just as the past maps have in the DLCs. I like how they're trying to shake things up and make sure that you can use any gun you want. Now, it does look from this angle that I'm showing you as I'm running around that this is very assault rifle heavy, but every single side lane on this map supports SMG and shotgun playing. You can also sit back with a sniper. You can quickscope. You can use an assault rifle. You can use anything you want on most of these maps. I love it. Let's get into the next map and the final map. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so the last map that we are going to be covering today before we get into the zombies map, Descent, will be Swarm. Now, the gameplay back here, like I said, as always, is going to be me running around the map, showing you guys a quick overview of the map while I talk about the map myself. Now, personal thoughts on this map. I like this map a lot. They have to have some of those close-range maps around all over the place. You know, Quarantine is one. This one also seems to support it. There are a few long sight lines. This reminds me a lot of a Black Ops 1 map. I really like it. I really like the way it's designed. Very linear. Just a few buildings you can go into, some long corridors, some tight corridors. It almost reminds you of the map Magma from Black Ops 2, if you guys remember that. Now, the description for Swarm is a reconstruction is underway in Seoul, South Korea. Long sight lines along the streets with tight interiors cutting through the middle make for fast combat in this urban jungle. Now, I completely agree with this description of the map, as I do with every single map in this DLC, because they're all spot on to what the gameplay actually is going to be revolved around. This one is mainly close quarters combat with a few long corridors. Now, quickly, I'd like to note that the map kill streak on this map is the Swarm. Now, the Swarm is very dangerous kill streak. If it gets called in, hide inside. It is honestly worse than the Swarm from Black Ops 2. A player gets control of hundreds of little explosive drones that he can send wherever he wants to his will. It's very dangerous. He can kill everybody very easily. I recommend staying inside at all times if this thing is out. And just be very cautious on this map because there's a lot of corners, there's a lot of buildings, like low-level buildings that you can get into and hide with a shotgun or an SMG. I just recommend being extremely careful on this map, as it is a very close quarters map, especially if you're a sniper or an assault rifle player. Let's get into the zombies map, Descent. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we are on the zombies map, Descent. Now, this takes place if you've beaten Carrier and done the Easter egg. You guys will know what happens in the outro. Practically what happens is Oz comes back and he sees them before they get to the escape pod and he falls to the ship. Now, the problem is the pet came home. Yes, that's what he said in the intro cutscene. Oz found his way back to the Atlas facility before the characters, including Linux, got back to it. Now, the gameplay you're going to be seeing here in the background is just me playing through the first couple of rounds, and at the end I will be showing you some gameplay of the new Wonder Weapon. So, this map takes place, like I said, in an unexplained location on the map, and practically what it is a half above ground, half underground water lair. I don't know really how to explain it. It's an underwater testing facility. Honestly, I love the idea. It looks very, very new, refreshing. I love it so much. And they kept the ball rolling with the storyline. And if you guys have seen the intro and the outro cutscene, if you haven't, you gotta go check it out on like NoJ456's channel or somebody else's channel. But these cutscenes determine a huge cliffhanger for the next game. They did say this is the finale, but they didn't say it was the finale of like the whole series, you know what I mean? So, this map is very big. This is one of the biggest zombies maps I have ever seen. The only thing that I think this rivals is like Mob of the Dead in Transit. This is a humongous map, bigger than Carrier by far. Now, I do want to give you guys a warning that halfway through round 5, or at the end of round 5, Oz teleports you to a chamber where he will torture you. And I heard that later rounds, he turns into a monster and purposely attacks you. Very dangerous. I do not recommend going in to round 5 or 6 without a good gun. Here, as you can see, I got the Tridant out of the box. Just wanted to show you guys some gameplay of this and how it works. It's practically a bouncing sort of ray. And everything it hits, half the time it targets zombies, half the time it just bounces around. But it is extremely powerful, extremely good for taking out trains. I'm not using it effectively right now, I'm just showing you guys how it works. I thought this weapon is a really cool addition. I even tried shooting this drone, but it didn't really work. Just a note, it does get stuck in the drone sometimes, which is extremely helpful for taking it out. So, this is going to come to a close on my DLC review guide. If I think you guys should buy this map pack, yes, it is an amazing map pack. Now, if you guys liked the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. This is Greek Gamer, signing off. Bye.